Well, we have problems. And there's no way to fix this one. Except to start over. Follow along and I'll show you what happened. Oh. Y'all want to look at Don's? Want to be plainer? The shaft we're making goes in here, all the way across, and the nut we're making is this one, and it fits in here and rides up and down that screw. This is its oiling system, which is kind of funky. It's got a sharp edge on this side, so it fits right up against the back of the casting out here. And it catches oil that drips off of this and sends it down to that nut. Well, I don't think it was getting enough oil. It is beat all the hell up in there. Got hot, started chipping, just bad. I'm fighting to make this some type of a positive oiling system. But it's hard because you can't get in there. I was thinking about putting a hose on this thing, and you know, it goes this much. So you'd have to have a hose this long that would stick out the end if we drilled a hole over here. He's fighting me tooth and nail on that. So we may just leave it alone. It's not mine. Too little anyway. We're working on duplicating this nut again, as you've seen for the rest of the videos. This is kind of day 2. Last night I left it after I finished making a test nut out of cast iron to try to see if all this was going to work easily. Don had bought the tap and tapped it, and we made this test nut, and it fit this shaft perfectly, but not that shaft over there. Turns out, long story short, that shaft over there is 42 thousandths bigger than this shaft. This nut fits really, really good and would not screw onto it. And so we're going to proceed and just increase the depth by 21 thousandths on each side, and that ought to give us a nice fit. The problem is I don't have a short shaft like this that I can test it while the nut and everything's still clocked and timed on the lathe. So I think we've got a way around that. Since this was so successful, I'm going to skip doing it on the machining plastic, and we're going to go straight to the bronze. Now, these are the mounting holes for it. And this is the side we've got to line up so we can bore and make it look like that.
Hey, you're going to miss no text today, huh?
Huh?
You don't want to miss any texts today?
Oh, didn't hear my wife calling me yesterday.
Nasty.
I had to hear about it.
Nasty.
And of course, it was all Don's fault because I was over here. I just realized we don't have a sign over there that says it's all your fault. I will remedy that.
Technically speaking, if it didn't take a year to get to this point, you wouldn't have been here.
I can't help it that you become a hermit.
Yeah. I like being a hermit. Within a couple of thou.
I think that's about as close as we're going to get it. was I chamfered it for the hole to go in. So now I have a nice thread on it. Let's get through. Too much damn open space in this shop. You gotta move 4 miles to get anything. Now we're gonna bore it. Get you a little closer. It's the inside bore. Now what I've done is I've opened it up about 20 thousandths more than, where's my nut? There it is. And this one. Now this nut fits perfectly on this shaft, but it's a little bit too tight to fit on the other shaft, which we measured at about 20 thousandths on each side, too thick, 40 thousandths diameter larger than this shaft. So I opened up the hole on that brass nut a little bit more because we're going to need it. I'll get set up for threading it now. Nearly screwed up. I'm putting those pieces of machine wax up there, so I can't do the normal pull the clutch towards me. It needs to rotate backwards. So it's just a little thing to keep me from screwing up again. Well, I've gone into 100 thousandths depth on the thread, and I just did a spring pass. I always do a spring pass about every 50 thou, just to make sure it's even all the way through. This is a very skinny threading bar, and it's the only size that we could get that would fit in that hole, that 1-inch hole. This is a 1/2-inch carbide left-hand thread bar with insert, with an ACME insert on it. Now, a word about how I do things. I'm getting old. Don't tell Don. But I try to keep things simple so that I don't screw up. Like, yes, I could get a regular threading bar, turn it upside down, pull out from the back, come out, and I used to do that kind of stuff all the time. Back 30 years ago, when my brain worked about 25,000 times faster, it was okay. And if I were making this for me, I would have probably done it that way, but I'm not, and I don't want to waste Don's money. So we got a left-handed boring bar. Now the advantages of the left-handed boring bar is I can see this bit as it's going in here. I can see what it's doing. If I was upside down and running backwards, I wouldn't see that. That bugs the crap out of me. I want to see what's going on so I can catch it if there's a problem. Anyway, left-handed bar, to keep it simple. I stuck these blocks up there. Well, you can't see them, but there's a couple of machine blocks up there to keep me from putting it in forward like I usually do, to remind me to keep it in reverse. I also take and put a little Sharpie mark on 0 after I've touched off my threads, and that helps me keep track of where I am. Because I'm only taking a very little amount at each time, 10 thousandths, because I'm going straight in. I'm not trying to shave it going down. I found that on ACME threads for me, it always works if I go best in. Now, that helps me with my 0. A little bit about this threading dial over here. I've put a mark on 1 with a Sharpie, and I always wait until the 1 comes around to engage. And I do that for a couple of reasons. Mainly, I don't get confused and screw up, which in this case it wouldn't really matter. Because as you can see here, even threads, any line. That means I can hit any line on there and it should work. But over the years, on an old machine, I found that it doesn't always give the best results. Sometimes it just doesn't work as good. So I always do the same number when I'm going for precision, just because. So even got a nice little brass plaque on these Axelsons. Even threads, any line. Odd threads, any number. Fractional threads, same number. So I just wipe that whole thing out. I just keep it on 1 number. So between these two things, if I make a mistake, it's Don's fault. Now back to our regularly threaded program. God, I love this machine. I kick myself every time when I sold it. God. Anyway, let's do some more threading, shall we? Now I've gone just about as far as I want to on the threads until I have some way of checking it precisely to that shaft over there. And you could, the best way I know of is to use that shaft. But Don's a wuss and he won't take it apart. So we thought we'd hit a ballpark with this one because it's already taken apart. Same 4 threads per inch, ACME thread, and it fit really nice into the nut I made. But that shaft, as many old machines are, is different than this shaft by 42 thousandths of an inch. So this didn't work. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is the shaft that we're matching the nut to. And Don says it's far too complicated to take it out of there without messing something up. So okay, but I really want to use that shaft to test the fit. So we've come up with another plan. Now this is an Axelson 16 by 30 lathe. Great for everything, but I can't get that shaft to line up with that nut that's already in there, and I don't want to take the nut out because this is in the way. So what we came up with, I asked Don to make me some blocks that fit three-ways on this bed, and we're going to remove the tailstock and put up a couple of these blocks here so that we can lay that screw here and use the actual screw to test fit that nut. What are you going to do when Don doesn't want to do any more work? I mean, my God. Y'all want to look at this wannabe planer? Unfortunately, Don's having to work inside at his job, leaving me to my own devices. Silly Don. I gotta get this off. These little lift tables are wonderful. That's good. I'm going to lower it down. Take this home with me. You never know the difference. All righty. Now, how are we going to make this work? It'd be really nice to hang on to, but unfortunately, I don't think that'll work. There's something to be said about working in somebody else's shop. I can't find nothing I need. Don't have a short enough strap for this, so I figured out a way to make one strap work, but I don't trust it, so I like to have a hose clamp to go around and hold that strap there. You'd think Don would have a hose clamp in plain sight for me to find.
I don't think I have any. I do not think I have any. Look real quick.
It's okay, I've been...
Oh!
Oh?
No, this is not big enough.
No. That's like one of your fishing stories. Now this 3-inch fish is actually 36 inches.
30 years since I've been fishing.
Old habits die hard though.
No, I don't think I have any, buddy. Wait, did I buy a close clamp kit? I don't think so.
I've finished
We
it.
got O-rings, snap rings, press pins, no O-rings. No. I got a small, little small strap. You need a little small strap. Does that work?
I have taken care of your problem. Right away now. Right away.
About 6 inches off.
Whoa.
That should work pretty good. That should work. You remember where you're at now. Don't lose your space. Don't lose your place.
You've even written it down on your lathe.
Whatever works.
Major markers are good for that. You didn't do this one.
No, didn't do that one.
How am I supposed to know how to run this thing if you don't?
Yeah. Just come on, move it so we can test it. Yeah, that's pretty close. Let's see. That's pretty darn close. I think that's a good place to start.
Well, we'll see. All right.
Looks like a leading student.
Hmm?
Looks
Do you have any of that really good WD-40 degreaser in a can? No hose clamps. No. I feel like I'm working in Pakistan here.
I tell you, bring everything you need, man.
Okay.
Can't count on me for that.
Back to zero. One.
Might have been easier just to swing this out the way.
We're not swinging anything out of the way. Two. Three.
Take the backlash out first.
4.
Well, you're still filming.
5.
A little bit more.
6.
One more time around. Alright, that's good.
7.
That should be good. That should clear it, I think.
7 times past the 0. We got to clean that up a little bit because it's.
Yeah, it's full of stuff on it. Let me get you on. You want to blow it out just one time?
I hate doing that.
I do too. It's going to blow it right in the back of the truck. These little brushes, you still got them?
Out of this, whatever it is, acetone.
Acetone, yeah, that's all I have. I actually bought another can of that and left it in the buggy at Home Depot. So I gave it to somebody.
That's why they think you're the customer of the year over there.
I guess so. Anyway, hey people, sorry I'm late. I was in a real intense mediation this morning. change my clothes probably. Hold on a minute. Let's see.
Just put on an apron.
I do have one too. Oh, the other one. God, you guys can keep meat in here now.
68 degrees.
Jeez.
My God.
Nanook of the North here.
That people like it that way. I've got most of the chips out. I'd like some air. I can't get it out any other way.
Well, right above your head. I just have to open up the valve. Hold on.
Probably have a meter on it and have to put a quarter in, right?
Okay. Go ahead.
Hate that. But
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
I know. This be empty. All right, senor.
I will upraise and lower however necessary.
You're to get in line with the. You need to come this way
Okay.
more. You need to go up some.
Okay. Let's start.
Yeah. Go down some. Here, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Go down a little. Down a little.
That's real crooked.
That's what?
That's real crooked to this, which
Okay.
should have been horizontal to that, right? It should be.
You eyeball this way.
That should be about right there. Should be straight. Close.
Remote control. Oh, we're getting fancy. Of course, these are easy to lose. I've already lost one.
Get on your keychain.
Ah. Back to zero. Zero.
7 times?
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7.
That's funny, man.
Look here. Make sure that's about
Pull in the cookie. There you go. Somewhere around there. It's kind of starting a little bit better, right? Didn't do that last time.
That kind of started.
Okay. It's getting there.
It kind of started.
You've got enough left on the field to go that deep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0. I'll make sure it goes in. It's my 0 point. We're going to 280. Straight.
Yep. I'm going to straight up and down.
Where's your level? Pretty close. Okay. You let yours down. Keep going. Whoa. A little bit more. Tiny. Whoa. We have a problem. get this to start, and I'm sitting there eyeballing it critically, and I'm going, wait a minute, why is that thing not starting? Then I'd go back, well, wait, then realize this is a multi-start thread. That other shaft is a single start thread. And you're asking me the question, well, why don't we whittle another start? And I'm going to try to show you why that doesn't work. You guys might want to watch this too. I used to make these things all the time for telescope focusers. And they're very common. You think of your camera lens. When you focus your camera lens, you turn it a little bit and it moves a long way. Well, if I were to make a eyepiece holder for a telescope, a single start like that one is, if I turn it one whole turn, it will go 1/4 of an inch on a 4 threads per inch single start screw. But that's a long way trying to focus So what you do is you start another screw 180 degrees from the start of this one. And basically it's a thread that goes all the way down and then another thread that goes all the way down. So I'm going to start this here and I'm going to trace this. And if this was a single start, it would come up in this next thread, right? Look where it came up.
Yeah, the one up and one over. I got you.
You got it now?
I got it now. So we have to get some more brass. Or could you turn it 180 and just... No.
It's not that simple because this screw
Yeah, it's
here
a whole different thread.
is over here.
It's a whole different... No,
Yeah.
you can't do it. You can't fix it.
And the reason they did this,
Yeah, it doubles your...
it makes one crank go twice as
Yeah.
far, but the stability of the thread is there.
Well, actually, it makes it more sensitive, too. If you just want to move it a little bit, you don't have to move the big one hardly at all.
Well, if you wanted it sensitive, you would have made it a one screw because then it would just go a little bit per revolution instead of more.
Well, I'll order another piece of brass.
How in the hell did we miss that?
I didn't even know that existed, so don't look at me.
It's all your fault.
Sure. Didn't even know that was a thing. Oh well, here's what it is.
I feel so low. Man.
Here's what it is, buddy. It's just metal.
A double start screw.
Just metal.